get that, Coach. I'm going to be very late out of the turn. I'm going to come from just inside this tree, and I'm going to jump back that way in that direction because that opens the radius of the turn so much. Yes, but as you land, your horse is going to look at the back of the black flag option, and he's going to take you that way. Now, you are going to have to pull up and turn back, which causes your horse to lose momentum. They lose impulsion in a turn like that, just in a situation where you would really like to have a lot of impulsion. So you need an approach here which splits the difference. You jump straight on and you land, and my instructions to the riders were, don't panic. Land and take a stride. You will land there in the water. You'll take a stride. Lift your head and eyes. Look where you are going to go next. Then start your turn towards speed. If you make a mistake at a corner, I would like for that mistake to be slightly left to right, because at least I am jumping back into the jump, whereas I do not want this mistake right to left because that encourages the horse to duck past the fence. Now, how do we find the perfect alignment for the corner? If I aim at the front of the corner, the back spread becomes enormous in a hurry. If I aim at the back of the corner, I encourage my horse to duck out over the left. So we must find a way to split the difference. And the visualization tool that you teach riders is that you imagine a third rail here which bisects that angle. And then I want the riders to approach perpendicular to that imaginary third rail, and that is your alignment. They will land. I hope that they will recover their balance. They will gather the horse. Then they will turn. They'll step out. They'll take a couple more, 2 more strides here on the grass, and they jump out of the combination there. The black flag, again, you see here, this is A. They jump that, they go all the way up and around. They have to approach this from back over here where that sign is. They jump this down through the water, out, up to the ropes, turn back, and jump the other 9B there, back down, bypassing this element, and they gallop on. It's the same idea that you saw at where there is a long lane. It is easier, but it's very long indeed. Now then, the horse is jumping, and they're going to land in a drop. What I tell riders, I don't like to see riders throwing themselves around in the saddle. The sensation they should have over fence 9A is that at the point of takeoff, they appear almost as if they are show jumping. They are seated. They should have their shoulder just in front of their hip. Not extremely so, but they should be with the horse. Their reins are adjusted and their legs are at the girth. The horse rises to the brush, and in slow motion, as they reach the top of the arc, the rider allows the horse to jump out from underneath them. They slip their reins and they land here. So it is more that the rider brings their hips forward and lands than that they jump and throw their body back. I hate to see riders throwing their body back. I do not want to see them jump a drop looking jumping like this. I will tell you why. I will do it one more time. Do not jump a drop and go like this. Because why? Because this time, watch my hands. You see, the hand, it's almost impossible to throw your body back and not pull up and back on the bit. In effect, you are jerking the horse in the mouth for jumping. And your horse now hates you, and I'm not so fond of you either. Because it interferes with the horse's natural jumping effort. Okay? So, they come up there, they slip the reins. Picking up the reins is a lost art. I don't get it that these ultra-sophisticated riders will slip the reins and then they come out of it and they've got their reins all to hell and gone like that and wonder why they gallop past the narrow jump at the end. Well, you didn't steer him, knucklehead. All you have to do is put one hand in front of the other, pull the reins through, move your other hand back up to the reins, make your turn, and when you come out over that, if you do what I say, you are adjusted and connected again just as you were at 9A, at 9B. Why do I want that? Because that is the position that we have the most effect on the horse's direction, balance, impulsion, and so on. This is the place we need to be, seated just behind the withers, right? Reins adjusted, eyes looking through the horse's ears for the obstacle. Bang, you're rich and famous, just listen to me. Step over and maybe catch your breath a little bit from some serious exertions. And I always kind of laughed at that because I thought, you know, anybody that thinks that 3'11" by 6'6" at 20 miles an hour is a breeder fence, you know, they need to be in a 4-star because they're not normal. A couple of years ago now, I said that you could hear the horses breathing. They just are starting to work for the first time. That's the first serious pull uphill that they've handled. And you'll hear their breathing. And if you listen, you'll hear them. They breathe in rhythm with their galloping stride. And then as they jump, they hold their breath. And I said that, and I heard a couple of my students over here on the rail say, yeah, and when we jump, Jimmy holds his breath. Well, it is true, but but I try not to. A horse, famous racehorse here, Bernardini, they measured his stride. He had the largest stride that they've ever measured. Equimetrics, I think, is the name of the company. They do that sort of thing. And the longer the stride, the deeper the breath. And he won a big race and pulled up, and he was barely breathing hard. And they reckoned it was because he had a longer stride than Man of War or Secretariat. So they will be breathing in rhythm. They'll be galloping up the hill. They'll jump the hammock. They follow the roping down. And they have, again, a very long, straight downhill run. Remember what happens to the horse's balance. And then you have a 90-degree turn to 11A, B, C, D at the sunken road.